joining us. Welcome to the Women's Business Center and our monthly webinar. And I am Joy Taylor. I'm your host. I love doing these webinars, and I'm thrilled to invite back Wanda Bader today, who's going to walk us through a very packed webinar. Somewhat interactive. You're going to have lots of opportunities to get ideas, and I hope more than anything have the skill and the confidence to say, yeah, I'm going live. So today is how to successfully use Facebook Live to engage with your audience, build your brand, and increase your visibility. So look at this. All of you said, well, I'm at least going to learn. Maybe some of you are doing Facebook Live. We'll find out because we do have a poll in a couple slides. The webinar is brought to you by the Women's Business Center in and at Jedi in the far north region of California. And we are where potential becomes prosperity. So if you're a member, fantastic. If not, I'll tell you more about that at the end of the webinar. But we are a nonprofit, and we are able to support you in one-on-one free consulting, low cost and free workshops and trainings, business planning, tax preparation for low income and eligible individuals, and then advanced business development. You can learn more by contacting us. Telephone numbers on the screen, and we will give you more information at the end of today's presentation. So to get the most in the webinar, I think most of you are familiar with the webinar settings, but down below you'll see a chat button. And we will have room, someone's already chatting. We'll have room and space and time to interact. And how you're going to interact today is going to be through chat. This is a webinar, not a meeting, so you'll not have your videos on, but if you have a question or a comment, type it into chat. And then I will facilitate those questions, making sure that our presenter today can answer them. All right, and we will be doing polls, and so you can interact that way as also. So no video, just chat. Yes, that's how we're rolling today, and thanks so much. And when you chat, please make sure that you click on all panelists and attendees, and that way the chat is something we all can take a look at and pay attention to. Our presenter today, and she's been with us before, is Wanda Bader, and it's just fun because Wanda and I have been Facebook friends and email on each other's email list for many years now. And she is someone I love to watch because she's always on the leading edge of online marketing. She is the founder of Strategize Your Success. She loves to support her clients through education, facilitation, to stretch outside of comfort zones and think outside of the box. And her specialty is absolutely website development, social media, video, and email marketing. So we're in good hands. I didn't ask you, Wanda, but how many Facebook Lives do you have under your belt?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I've never really thought about it because I've been doing video marketing for such a long time. It seems like, I mean, and as far as it goes with online marketing, a long time could be a couple of years, right? Because things are constantly changing.
And that's what I love about you is you're changing with the changes. And so you're always up to speed. But take it away. We're glad you're here. I know you've got lots of slides, so let's rock.
Yeah, we have a lot of content here today, and so happy to have you all join us. And again, if you have questions, that's what we're here for, is to help you along the path of learning how to do Facebook Lives. And we're going to go ahead and Joy is going to put up our first poll. And the first poll is, how comfortable are you with doing Facebook Live streaming? And we're just going to give it a few minutes here to see what your answers are. So don't be shy and help participate so we know exactly where you are in the journey of doing Facebook Lives. Okay, great. We're getting results in already.
And you might say, I'm none of these. So pick the one that's closest to what you are. And these are anonymous, by the way, so we don't know who's answering what. But it's nice to get a sense of the collection of all of us, what kind of responses. It looks like we've got 60% of you have given your results or your responses.
Great. And the thing is that I kind of look at Facebook Live like public speaking, because I've actually taught on public speaking. And it can be very intimidating to do a Facebook Live for different reasons than it is to do public speaking. You're still in front of an audience, but you don't see the audience, which could be a plus or a minus, right, Joy?
Absolutely.
It's like, I love being in front of a live audience because I get to, you know, shake your hands, get to meet you. I get to see your faces. If somebody's nodding off, I know. And those type of things. But it's like when you're doing a Facebook Live, you really are kind of doing this monologue. And so that's why I think a lot of people are afraid to kind of jump in, because they're not really ready, or they're afraid of the technology behind it.
Here are the results.
Excellent. So did you want to go ahead and read them, Joy?
Sure. Well, it looks like 72% I'm interested, but I'm video phobic, or I just need help. I know how to do a Facebook Live, but I have no strategy for doing them. We have 2 people, 11%. And then 17%, I've done some, but not sure they were successful. If anyone has done them successfully and you want to put that in the chat box, you are welcome to, because that was not one of the options. But I know not everyone voted, so there could be some people on the line that do them successfully, and they're here for tips.
Yep. Well, again, thank you. You're in the right place if you do not feel comfortable with live streaming. So hopefully after we go through, I'm going to do the real basic stuff. So I'm not assuming that anyone has you know, a real handle on this. So if you've already done them, and bear with us, because we're going to start from scratch as if you don't know anything. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and take that off our screen. All right, so what I'd like to do is I'm going to go ahead. Joy, should I take myself off of the video so we can concentrate on the slides for right now?
Yeah, let's do that for now.
Okay. Are you going to do that for me, or should I just? All right, I will stop my video here. All right. So hopefully everybody's still seeing the screen share though.
Yep, it looks great, Wanda. This makes the screen share larger.
All right, awesome. Perfect. So we want everybody to see that. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about the history of how this all started. If you think about it, in a very short period of time, technology has changed immensely. Just in 90 years, we went from like a traditional TV in 1926 to live video streaming, like Periscope and Facebook Lives, that started in 2015. It's not really a long time, and things have been progressing ever since then. So what I want to ask you guys is, what is the most watched Facebook video of all times? And if anybody knows out there, it would be fun to see it posted in chat. If you have an idea of something, go ahead and put it in the chat box. I'll give you just a second. I don't think anybody knows this one maybe. Oh, here we go. Let's see what we're getting here in the chat. Well, I've got most viewed live video is Candace Payne, Chewbacca Mama, as of May 2019. And she was viewed 100, and it's still going to this day, viewed 175 million times. That is something from, you know, a mom who doesn't do video. So what you need to know to get started with Facebook Live is what we're going to look at next. So we've got a second poll here. So I'm going to go ahead and let you take it away, Joy, putting that poll up for us. And it's, have you used Facebook Live on your Facebook personal page, on your Facebook business page, on someone else's page or group, or you know, where have you actually done these things? Some people don't even realize they can do Facebook Lives in all these different mediums. Okay, the polls are coming in.
We're getting some chats too. Marcia Anderson said, I'm not Facebook adept, so from scratch is excellent and has not done one live. So if you want to chat any comments about your experience, you're welcome to while we're letting people fill out the poll. Okay, I think a lot of people are just saying they haven't. You know, okay. I'm going to go ahead and launch the poll. We didn't get as many results, and in part because I'm guessing some people just have not done Facebook Live.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for participating in that. That is very helpful. I'm going to go ahead and click that off. And, you know, I couldn't see, it's funny, I couldn't see the chat while the poll was up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and reduce that. Okay, now I can see the chat on my end.
And here's your responses. So Facebook page and Facebook group more than personal page or someone else's.
Okay, great.
Okay.
All right. So let's go ahead and talk about what live streaming is and why it matters. Okay, so live streaming means that you're filming videos and streaming them live. Obviously, you're not pre-producing a video. So that's the big difference. So the easier part, I guess you could say, about doing something in advance is that you have more control over it. But the thing that people find intimidating about doing Facebook Live is that when you're doing something live, you only have so much control. So matter of fact, we were just kind of talking about this before we launched our presentation today. Sometimes you have interruptions that you weren't expecting. For those of you who have little kids, you know, maybe one of them knocks on the door and asks for you to get them some water, or you have a dog that's barking in the background. I mean, all these things come up. And the truth of the matter is that it's okay, because people are very forgiving when it comes to doing Facebook Live. And they're looking for that raw footage. They're not looking for something that is, you know, critiqued and finessed. So many people have described it as the closest thing to teleporting because you can reach people all over the world. Think about it. You could get followers in, you know, away from the United States very easily by doing a Facebook Live. And that's awesome, because that means that your reach is so much further. And lives are remarkable and exciting because you're watching something in the moment that allows you to ask questions, have discussions, and also get that feedback from people that you're presenting to. And many marketers are also doing regular live streams, creating an extraordinary level of intimacy if you think about it. And Facebook states that users are more engaged with live content and that viewers are 10 times more likely to leave a comment on a live video versus one that is not live. Interesting, huh? Facebook also generates 6 times as many interactions as traditional videos, just another reason to do it. And Facebook Live viewers watch Facebook Live videos 3 times more than uploaded videos.
Wanda, these are amazing stats.
Mm-hmm.
A question came in, can you describe in what way are Facebook Lives interactive? I'm assuming you're going to really talk more about that as we go.
Yes, we will talk more about how to interact and engage with your audience. So again, we're kind of covering some of the basics for you here. So one of the things that I want to recommend to anybody who's doing a Facebook Live is that you always want to tell your fans before you broadcast. And the reason for that is because we're trying to build an audience to join you while you're doing your Facebook Live. Although if you're new at it, maybe that's not as important because, you know, you might not want so many people. But the thing is that we're doing Facebook Lives to market our business. So yes, it's super scary. I mean, I still get nervous when I hit that go live button. It's just, you know, it's an intimidating process. But the thing is that the more that you do it, the more comfortable you'll be with it. And going live when you have a strong connection, especially when you're doing it off of something when you're not connected directly into, say, your internet. So if you're Bluetoothing something, you want to make sure that you have a strong connection, or you're really going to have a very glitchy Facebook Live. So we want to make sure to do as much as possible to have a really super connection. Like I'm connected to Ethernet right now when we're doing this, and that's like the best if you can do that off of a desktop or laptop. And the thing is that when you go into that live, what you're going to do next is, you're not live when you see yourself. This is a screenshot of me going on my desktop. And when you go into Facebook Live, it's going to show up like this. It's going to give you the option of posting something over here. It's going to make sure that you're connected to the right camera and the right audio. And until it says that you're live, don't worry about it. You're still in, you haven't jumped into the live mode at this phase. We're in preview. And you can share this up here on your business page. If you have groups like I do, then you can choose which group you want to go live into. And then once you hit this go live button, then you will be live, and it will tell you that you're going live. So there's not going to be any, funky surprises there.
So Wanda, really relevant questions. Just want to assure everyone that yes, once you land on your own Facebook page, there is a button there. You're showing it to go live. Someone asked, can you go live in a group and your page simultaneously?
No. Not unless you use a third-party app. But if you're just using Facebook Live's feature, you can only go either live in your business page or in your group, but you can't do them at the same time unless you use a third-party app. Should I move on?
Yeah, great.
Okay. All right. So I just want to make sure there was any question on that. So here's a screenshot of what it looks like to go live from your phone. Okay, so up here, it's just like a regular post. You hit this go live button, and then it will take you to what I'll show you on this next screen here. It's going to take you to this next screen. Again, you're not live until you say start live video. So over here, you've got add a description, and you always want to add a description on your Facebook Lives, because that's letting the audience know, not just now when you go live, but later also for your replays as to what you went live about. So that's super important. You also want to pay attention to this right here. If you want to practice, you can, instead of making this go public, there is an option that says only me, and you can start your live and do an only me option. Another thing is that if you go to these three dots here, if you don't want to be on screen, if you're afraid to do that, try to figure this all out on your phone initially, those three dots will allow you to do a audio. So it's like a podcast style, and it will like the sound waves in the back, and it will have your audio only and not your face. So it's another way to kind of ease into doing Facebook Lives, but you can only do that on your phone, not on your desktop. Another thing is that you can add masks, and I'm sure you've seen people have fun with this. And it's a little bit more advanced. I wouldn't say do masks until you're really comfortable with doing a Facebook Live from your phone, because it's just another layer of something that you have to get used to doing if you're not used to doing Facebook Live. I hope that makes sense. But they are fun, especially around the holidays. Okay, so most businesses, blogs, and brands should be using their Facebook page to promote themselves rather than using their profile. I get this question all the time. However, you can use both. One, to announce. So let's say if you have a personal page, you can announce on your personal page that you're going live on your business page, and maybe share the link to your business page so that people can join you over there. Because when we all joined Facebook, we said to Facebook, we are not going to use our personal profiles to promote our businesses. So we have to stick with that and when we're doing Facebook Lives for the same reason. And I'm sure you've seen a lot of people do Facebook Lives on their personal profile. And sometimes you can get away with it depending on how you go about doing it. So for instance, if you have a business that you're sharing an experience with, let's say that, for instance, I'm going to a conference and I'm there basically for my business, but I'm sharing on my personal page that a Facebook Live that I'm at this conference with the people who follow me personally. Now, another reason to kind of consider where you're going to go live from is because a lot of people usually have, and you could be the exception, but most people have more followers on their personal profile than they have on their business page. And that's why they want to go live over there. But keep in mind that a lot of the people that are on that business page are following you because they want to hear about what you offer. But when they're following you on your personal page, they're there to connect with you on a different level. So we have to respect those relationships and really think about what we're posting, especially when we go and do a live video. Is this something that somebody's going to care about that's connected to me on my personal page? Again, you have to figure out how that balance works for you. Now, ironically, you can be put into Facebook jail. And I don't want you to panic when I say that, but Facebook, if they are seeing that you're not playing by the rules, they will put you in Facebook jail and take away your privilege from doing things on Facebook. So it's another reason to make sure that we keep Facebook happy when we're posting. And if it's business related, again, you can say to people, hey, join me on my business page in say 15 minutes. I'm doing a Facebook Live all about blah, blah, blah. Join me over there. That's cool. Facebook is fine with that. But you have to be careful how you engage with your audience. So be strategic. And if you have questions about that, let us know. Now, your stream will automatically be a public video, meaning that anyone can see it and they can share it with others. Okay, so keep that in mind as well. And it's different in groups, obviously. Only people who are following your page will see the content you're creating unless they know someone who is a fan. Then potentially they can also see it. This means that the best way to build your audience is to build more followers on your page. So the good news though is that live streams you create are more likely to be seen by your followers than any other content that you're producing because Facebook wants us to do Facebook Lives. And that's a cool thing, right? So if you are on your business page, people can follow you. And that's handy because they can subscribe and then they'll get notification that you've gone live every time you go live. And that's pretty good. Okay. And as you broadcast, you'll also be able to see how many people are viewing your content, and you'll be capable of seeing any comments or reactions that people leave. So make sure you're doing this. Respond to the comments, even if they're on the replay. Make sure that you go back and say hi to people. But I want to caution people with this, is that I see a lot of people, they'll go live and they're biding time. Okay, they go on and like for the first 5 minutes, it's just like, hey, so-and-so, hey, so-and-so, hey, so-and-so. But keep your replay viewers in mind. I don't want to watch your replay and have you saying hello to people for the first 5 or 10 minutes before you get into the meat and potatoes of what the video is supposed to be about. So we want to make sure that we're honoring that relationship. It's okay to say hello every now and then. We want to engage with people, but what we want to do is we want to get into what our video is about initially. then introduce ourselves. Okay, so do a few minutes up front. Hey, today we're going to talk about this, that, and the other. And then say, oh, by the way, this is Wanda from Strategize Your Success. We are a full service marketing agency, and that's why we love sharing content with our followers. You know, just a little kind of, we call it a snap statement, some little snap statement that you can make while you're doing that. And then if you see people joining in, it's cool to say, hey, thanks for joining us. You can ask people questions and get engagement that way too. And this really helps to increase your engagement, and Facebook knows that in the algorithms. And that means that the more that people engage with your live, the more then Facebook will go ahead and allow you to get more of their algorithm juice to send people to that live content.
Wanda, just a comment on the engagement, since someone asked earlier. So that engagement can be them commenting in the chat area on Facebook, or putting a like or a heart or an emoji.
Yes. And the way to ask for those emojis is just say, it's called a fireworks show. So it's like, give me some fireworks. And, you know, that, and if your audience doesn't know what that means, it's just like, you know, give me some hearts, give me some love. You know, that's a fireworks show. It's like getting that out there and let me know that this is hitting the mark on, you know, what information that you're looking for. So it's, again, it's all about engagement. Facebook is trying to build community. And one way to do that is to have people engage with you on your Facebook Lives. That's why it's so important for them. They're saying that 90% of your audience and 90% of your feed in the future will be actually video. So Facebook Live video or prepared video in advance. And that's pretty powerful stuff. So we want to get in there while things are still kind of new. And I see that Janelle just raised her hand for something.
Yeah, and so Janelle, if you can chat, that would be great. I see your hand is raised. It might be a mistake that happens. Yeah. So go ahead and chat any question you might have. Wanda, there's about 3 questions. Do you want to wait till the end, or do a rapid fire?
No, go ahead. Let's get those questions while they're hot.
Okay, I have customers in Japan and Hong Kong. Hong Kong speaks English, but Japan doesn't. When I do Facebook Live, will there be a subtitle in English that comes out automatically?
Okay, you can, we're going to talk about editing your videos after your Facebook Live. You can add subtitles to your Facebook Live after the fact. Facebook actually has a way for you to do that, and it does allow you to choose languages.
Okay, great. And then
about which language, you know, because there's so many, you have to go and check that for yourself. Okay.
You had mentioned there's apps for simultaneous broadcasting. Do you want to share those with us?
There's something called Restream that allows you to do more than one. I honestly, I purchased it. I haven't used it yet because it was a little bit kind of new. But it's going to be, it's still kind of a little experimental for me. So, but Restream it's called Restream IO. That is supposed to let you be able to go on to more than one thing at a time.
Okay. And then this is a solution and a workaround. So the question is the answer. I think you already answered it, but could you share your live stream afterwards to another page or group?
Yes, you can download an MP4 from your page, and some people do that. And if now you can, I believe in repurposing your content as much as possible, right? So, but the thing is that just keep in mind, if you repurpose it, let's say you upload that MP4 or download that MP4 and then upload it into YouTube, that your YouTube audience is going to be a different type of audience from your Facebook audience. So if you have a lot of engagement where you're talking to your Facebook audience, it might not be the best place to repurpose on YouTube. If you're just doing, especially if you're new and you don't have a lot of engagement, it might be very easy for you to repurpose that Facebook Live on a YouTube channel because there isn't going to be potentially as much engagement. But, don't worry when there's been plenty of times, I'm going to emphasize that I've done a Facebook Live and had no engagement, because timing is everything. And you have to find the right timing for your audience. It's a big experiment, okay? So the thing is that replays are super important because that's where most of your engagement is going to happen, is after the fact. So you have to make sure that you're keeping an eye out so that you can engage with your replay audience as well. And you'll get notified when people do that, so don't worry. It's like you'll get a notification from Facebook that's made somebody posted on your Facebook Live post.
Great. And so then just once again, if you have a Facebook Live, you did it on your business page, and then you want to share it with a group, that's a real easy one-button step.
Absolutely.
Okay, someone asked about setting up a business page, and I'm going to refer you to the Women's Business Center for a consultation since we're focusing on doing live streams on this webinar. But great question, and worthwhile to strategically set that up so you can do some one-on-one consulting or Google the steps to take. Yeah, call for a consultation. And then kind of similar, maybe you can do this really quick, Wanda. I don't want to take us from the topic, but people are asking what's the difference between a page and a group?
Okay, so a business page is your business identity on Facebook. Okay, so what you want to do is, like, you have a personal profile, but again, the terms of service with Facebook are you cannot promote your business from your personal profile. You need to have a Facebook page, and that is for your business and for you to do business off of. And a group is going to be, if you have a business that will do well, like I have several groups, and they have different purposes. So to give an example, we actually have a group where people can join. It is a paid for group, and some groups are free, but our paid for group is where you can learn how to do a Facebook Live. You can practice in the group, and it gives you all the, I have video tutorials to teach you all the different things on how to do Facebook Live the right way. So that is an example of a group, but you have to be invited or you have to pay to join a Facebook group that you create.
Okay. Well, Wanda, I want to keep us on track, so let's keep going. And then I'm just going to ask, if you're asking questions, keep them focused on Facebook Lives. All right. There's so much more to learn.
Yes, lots more. So how long should a Facebook Live video be is a top question. So Facebook says the top performing ones are between 15 and 20 minutes. But worry not, my friends. If you do shorter ones, that is fine, especially when you're new at doing it. I say just do it, right? It's like if you have something that you can talk about for 5 minutes, just do the 5 minutes. But this is the sweet spot so that you know. And once you finish recording, you simply want to remember that you just hit the stop button, and then you're not Facebook Living it anymore. So just remember, you hit stop. It's just like if I did a stop screen share right now, we would not be screen sharing anymore. And at this point, the video will remain on your Facebook page once you hit that stop button so that people can watch it, comment on it, and like it. And it's very exciting. All right, so advanced features and tips. Let's get to that. Editing your video. So this was something that someone had asked about, subtitles. You can choose to edit your video after your Facebook Live is done. You can also do captions and some advanced stuff on there. Let's see. And I don't have a screenshot of it because, but if you guys want to follow me at Strategize Your Success on Facebook, I actually have videos that show you how to do these things, and they're very quick to learn, okay? So just go to my Facebook page and you can see those. And it'll tell you how to add captions and how to edit your videos. So what you want to do is you want to always remember to choose a category on Facebook for that particular video, And you also want to create a title and upload a thumbnail or change your thumbnail. And a thumbnail is a thing that you see, like if somebody goes to that live, it's that picture capture that they have there, which you can also do in your Facebook edit. Okay, because sometimes we get a picture that's not always favorable of us with our mouth wide open. And Facebook gives you 10 different images that you can choose from, or you can upload your own image in order to change that thumbnail. And Facebook, like YouTube, will automatically generate that thumbnail. So again, if you're used to using YouTube and maybe not Facebook to do it, it's very similar. Cool. Tools that help. So a stand can be very helpful if you are going to be doing Facebook Lives remotely, or if you are not going to be using your desktop because you prefer to use your phone. I have some people who just prefer to do everything off their phone and they don't use a laptop or a desktop. So you can find things like this on Amazon. Very easy to do. It has a little stand. You can find variations. This also works as a selfie stick. So that's kind of fun. Another thing to keep in mind is if you are doing a Facebook Live from your phone is to get yourself a noise canceling little mic. Now this thing that you see here is about $12. Again, I have one. I got it off Amazon. And I will tell you the newer phones don't have a way for us to plug in. And then the next option is to do a Bluetooth wireless mic. Okay, but they aren't $12. That's the only bad part. You're getting into like, you know, some serious investment there. But if you have a phone that gives you the ability to plug in earbuds, for instance, then you can use this, okay? And you just have to look for the one that works. So if you have an Android or an iPhone, make sure that they work with the phone that you have. Lighting is super important. And light kits are very helpful. This one again is something from Amazon. I have this light kit myself that you see over to the side. It's really easy to take. You can take this and do is you don't want to have shadows on your, but honestly, if you have a window you, sometimes natural be awesome for that. I just got a message that the internet was unstable, so hopefully you guys are still seeing me and hearing me okay.
Yeah,
okay.
you were slightly coming in and out. You
okay.
were choppy, but you're back, so let's just go with it.
Okay, so the next thing to do is also think about if you are doing a Facebook Live from your phone, just this little clip-on light is really awesome. And it can be recharged. They have ones that have batteries, but they're a lot heavier because they have batteries. But this allows you to also put this on your phone. It has 3 different lights, and it works great, honestly. I have a couple of them, and when I do this live with a live audience, I give a couple away, and usually give one. So sorry, I do that over the Zoom today. But ideas for content. Let's get into that because again, a lot of stuff here. So sharing.
Wanda, just on the equipment, do you recommend using computer, iPad, or iPhone? Is one better than the other? Question came in.
I'd say that I recommend using your, if you have an internet connection, that's going to be the case scenario because it's just more stable connection, especially when you're new at doing Facebook Lives because you've got enough pressure on you. You don't want technology to be one of those things that doesn't work with you. If you've got an audience built up and all, then you can do a lot of things like, you know, from your phone. But some people just, again, they just go from their phone. It just depends on your comfort zone. You, again, want to have if you're going to do it from your phone, get a stand of some sort so that you don't have a, you know, that jiggliness going on while you're trying to hold the phone. Because especially if you're going to be doing something remotely and you're walking and things like that, there are ways to stabilize that feed a little bit more too. Another thing to consider is you can do screen sharing, like we're doing a screen share here from Facebook Lives, but again, you want to do that from your desktop. So now back to the ideas for content, if we can, Joy, I'll move on with that.
Yep.
Unless there's any other questions. Okay. So people always say, what do I share? So you can share exciting moments and build when you're building your personal brand. So if you have exciting news to share about something that's going on in your business, or you have, let's say, something fun to show people, that can be something that's fun to do. And vlogging, you see this on YouTube, one of the most popular options is streaming videos of workouts, for instance. All right, so you're doing a video blog in a sense. And also more great formats for streams are like top tips you might have for people, reviews, ask me anything, they call them AMAs. You might have a day of the week that you go, hey, come over to my business page and ask me anything, and I'll be glad to answer your questions. People dig those pretty good. Now, if you run out of ideas, I do, and Joy's going to share this, this link with you. I do have a 36 ideas for live streaming list, and some of it will be applicable for your businesses. Some of it won't. Take and leave whatever works for you, but it is available to you. It has a planner, it has a checklist, it has a worksheet. So it's kind of a great way for you to kind of have something that you can start with in getting started with live streaming. And that way, it's sort of like when you go, okay, I know I should blog, but I'm kind of flat out of ideas of what to blog about. This is the same thing. It just gives you some live streaming ideas of what you can do. Okay. And then how to create engaging live videos. So good quality phone, all right, with a good quality camera is important. And that with today's smartphones, that's pretty easy. But lighting, again, plays a factor even when you're going live from your phone. Making your videos bright can do a huge amount to increase your quality of that video. And make sure that you look camera ready. Okay, if you don't feel like you look camera ready, let's say you don't feel good that day, then use your phone and do the podcast style live audio that I showed you earlier, okay? Because that might be a way for you to still go live. You could also turn off your camera and do a Facebook Live, but it's just, I think it's not going to be, unless you use a third-party app, it doesn't work quite as well because we want to have an image or something there. Like you could do a Facebook Live from Zoom. That would work better. Get a phone with a good quality microphone if you aren't going to use the lavalier. And also keep in mind where you're going live from because the acoustics in the room can matter. I actually use a Blue Yeti mic when I go live like I am right now. Because it's a professional microphone and it gives me better quality because I have very high ceilings in the room that I'm in right now.
Hey, Wanda. Yeah, here it is.
Blue Yeti. Yeah, and it's like, they have actually come down in price. And there are different versions of the Blue Yeti now, but honestly, I've actually used to have to go on to Amazon to get one. I've seen Walmart carry them now. In store, not just online. Okay, so when presenting your video, try to speak slowly and clearly. Don't get so excited or nervous that you just, and people are like, I can't follow her. Okay. And professional content is always important. Have a plan behind doing your live. Don't ramble on with no planning. It's just like if you're doing a presentation like I am here today, I have a PowerPoint, I have notes that I'm going by. Have a plan of action and make sure that you're honoring the audience that you're presenting to by having focus. And remember that you need to cater to the people who are just arriving, but you also want to recap for people who maybe joined your Facebook Live a little further in, because the way algorithms work with Facebook is it does sometimes take a few minutes and it still keeps going while you're on this Facebook Live to build that audience. So you might want to say, hey, for those of you who might be joining us, if you didn't see us when we first started this Facebook Live, today we're talking about, you know, whatever your title is. So having a recap in between is a good idea. Okay, now let's talk about how to build your followers and get more viewers, because that's always something that people are interested in. Okay, so if you're providing value, that's half the battle right there, because if you're providing value, then people are going to come and watch your videos, okay? And you have to remember not to be salesy. All right, it's like, and I realize that we all have businesses, and in order for us to stay in business, we do have to make sales. But there's a time and a place for it. And the more that you do it, the more you'll craft how you fit that into doing a Facebook Live. But just make sure it's that, you know, 80-20 rule. Give them 80% content, and then maybe sell, do the saleability type stuff at 20%. But you have to weave it in so that you don't look awkward or nervous when you're going to say, oh, and by the way, here, I want to offer this to you. Just remember, what you have to offer the world is valuable. You are the expert at what you do. And you want to come across as an expert when you're doing your Facebook Lives. So always provide great information. Okay, sharing content that you find through tools like BuzzSumo can help you, and they can also be, you know, not all videos have to be so serious. Make them fun and entertaining. That's what we want to do. And sometimes sharing content that you create and making sure it offers something unique and also genuine value. Again, sorry if I'm reiterating on that. All right. Engaging with your users and responding to questions, again, is important. Promoting special offers that provide genuine value to the followers that can save them money is always a way to get away from feeling less salesy. Posting great content only gets you so far, though. If you really want to make an impact, you should also consider creating advertisements on Facebook, to also help generate more traffic on your page. Facebook is, you know, they own stock. They are only going to give you so much traction when it comes to free. So we have to remember we're going to have to probably put in some money in order to build our audience as well. But if you're getting clients from it, we don't care, right? We will, if it takes $100 ad to get a $1,000 client, I don't know about you, but I would do it all day long. So just keep that in mind. But if your content isn't great, you're not going to be able to convert. So make sure that you've got what people want. Okay. So top tips are: build your following, tell people when you're going to go live, wait for that strong connection. Okay, don't go live if you don't have a strong connection, unless you've told people that you're going live. Then you're going to have to figure out a way to get that strong connection. And also write a compelling description. Think about it when you add that title. Is this something that's going to convert people to take an action and join me? Invite users to follow you, but I'm going to tell you, you have to be a little careful with this because it can land you in Facebook jail. We don't want to just say to people outright, because this has gotten a lot of people recently in trouble, is I want you to follow me. Don't use the word follow. Find a creative way to ask people to join, you know, and connect with you. All right, say, hey, I love connecting with you guys here on Facebook Live. It really would be great for us to stay in touch. Make sure that we connect on Facebook. Okay, that's a way to get around it. But there are certain words, keywords that they don't like, and that is overtly saying, follow me, okay, like me. We don't want to use those. We also want to make sure that we are saying hello to our audience when we're engaging with them, and we want to experiment with the length. So what works for others might not work for your audience. All of our audiences are unique, just like our businesses. All of our followers are going to be different. And I would say go live often and experiment. So I'm going to wrap it up here because we are getting close to the top of the hour. And trust me, I will stay on here to answer questions. So if you have some, we will still keep answering them. All right. So Mark Zuckerberg himself believes that live streaming might someday be the primary form of content on Facebook. Like I said, he said 90% eventually. And in the meantime, live streaming is still completely an open market for you. Facebook likes them. They're going to push you up in the algorithms. So we have to get out of that comfort zone and start doing them. And it also is a way for us to build new followers because you never know who's watching. As Joy said, Joy actually connected with me online. And we have this great relationship for years. And it's all because I stepped out of my comfort zone and put myself out there online. Facebook Live is a platform that's the best choice for conquering live streaming right now. It's a little bit more user-friendly, and you can go ahead and go from this and start experimenting with things like, say, doing YouTubes, okay? I see that Janelle also had something that came up, so we'll get to that, Janelle. Try to experiment with different kinds of content and cater to the people who are watching. Ask them what they want from you, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. Say, you know, I love presenting to you guys and offering great information. What would you like to hear more about? And you can do polls, by the way, on Facebook Live, which is fun. Okay, so we want to focus on providing quality. We want to ask people to subscribe, but not in the way that, you know, you got to kind of go about doing it differently. Just say, hey, if you want to stay connected, there's a way to do that on our business page. And invest in a good camera. So if it's on, make sure if you're using one on your laptop, as long as it's great. If it's on your phone, that's fine too. You can do something like adding a, I have a different camera that I use that, let me go ahead and see if I can go ahead and get back on here. I use a different camera, a Logitech camera for when I'm doing any kind of streaming, you know, whether it's on a Zoom or doing a webinar or whatever. Always good quality that will keep people connected to you. And we want to acknowledge your viewers by name if you can. You know, if you're a little nervous, again, don't try to toggle all these or juggle all these things around when you're new to doing it. If it's a little scary for you to say, oh my, I have to concentrate, just concentrate on what you're doing. The more that you do the Facebook Lives, the more engaging you become and the more you're able to connect with your audience when you go live. And also watch what other people do. You know, I learn all the time from watching others, and that's a great way to go about it. Okay. And if you want to connect with me, here's my information. Again, go to my page on Facebook, Strategize Your Success. And here's my website. Matter of fact, we just launched a new website, which I'm super excited about. So we have a new website up as of last week. Hooray. And here's my phone number. Reach out to me that way too. I'd be glad to help you out. And I think the next slides, Joy, are going to be related to your organization. So do you want me to go ahead and...
You know what I was thinking, because of the sake of time, let me just say a couple things, run a poll, and then we'll stay on longer for people who have more questions, because there were more questions. Yeah, coming in. But I just want to also encourage people. I did post in the chat your Facebook page.
Okay.
And so it'll also be, if you're watching the replay, which is on YouTube, it will be down below and your information. And then you also have the wonderful free gift to help people with content ideas. And so I'm going to post that one more time.
Okay.
Again. So here's the ideas. for free. And that's going to get people out of any kind of stuckness about having good content. No, this has been fabulous, Wanda. I did want to do 2 polls, and then we'll get into some announcements and then Q&A. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Okay, so this is a poll specifically about today's subject, and the question is, after this webinar, how likely are you to do a Facebook Live?
Come on, let's get some big numbers.
No one yet says they're going to do one today, but yeah. We're getting some other great results. So what's the best answer within here that makes sense to you? I think part of why people aren't going to do it today is because they learned that they want to announce their go live time so that people show up.
Well, and you can announce that you could do it like the day before. You can do it 15 minutes before, because sometimes you just feel like, sometimes I get in the mood just to do a Facebook Live, or I saw something fun that I want to share with my audience. And just keep in mind too, that you can share other people's content. Okay. You don't always have to be the originator of content. I've had some fun by sharing other people's blogs because I thought it was like a humorous blog or it was something different. And, you know, don't be afraid to do that, because sometimes that takes the pressure of you having to create something to talk about. It's just
There's been some, yeah, really successful curators who find excellent, relevant information for their audience and share it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's end the poll. And then Wanda, here's your numbers, all of us. So we've got 10 people committed to doing one in the next 30 days. This is a good opportunity to share about your challenge group.
Yeah, so like I said before, I have a Facebook group. It is a paid for group. It's only $27 to join. And when you join the group, you will get tutorial videos that will show you step by step how to do Facebook Lives on your phone, how to do them on your business page, how to share, do screen sharing, all sorts of wonderful things, because I know it's a little intimidating. You know, you have to figure these things out. And if you're not a technology person, sometimes it takes a little longer. And everyone that's in the group so far is like-minded. They're like you. They are not wanting to quite step out and do Facebook Live, so they do them within the group, and we're there to support you and give you feedback, and also give you a place to experiment. So if you want to try, you know, using a Facebook mask, or if you want to try doing a screen share, and you can do it within the group, because what's, you know, what they say about Vegas, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, what happens in the group stays in the group.
That's right. People can't share those videos, so that's...
Yeah, it's just all about keeping your private within the group. But again, no one that is in there, trust me, is an expert at doing Facebook Lives. So you again will be with like-minded people, and you can connect with me with all from my business page on Facebook. You can find out, you can actually go to groups. On the sidebar there, it says groups. I would be glad to share the link on how you can get signed up for that. You can send me, we actually have a Facebook chat bot that you can also engage with, and you can ask questions on that as well.
Awesome. So learn by example is what I'm hearing too. Wanda, you have given us so much information, and I appreciate it. I'm happy to spend another 10 minutes for Q&A. And it sounded like you were as well. Is that correct?
Definitely.
Okay. Let me just close out the webinar officially with the last couple of slides, and then we'll get to some of these unanswered questions. Thank you, everyone. If you have to leave, it's been a pleasure. And we will have the replay. You have access to Wanda if you have any lingering questions. What's coming up at the Women's Business Center? There is a digital empowerment project, which is create an effective website. It's happening on a Saturday in Mount Shasta. It's actually a weekend event. You're building a website right there and then with support. And that is also happening again in Reading in November. And the webinar for November is strategic planning. Build a business that gives you the freedom to be happy. And our presenter for that is going to walk us through how to get from A to B. In other words, where you are today to where you want to be in your business, and to break that down into actionable steps. I do think she's got an amazing framework, and it's original. So I recommend, if you want to work on your business and set some intentions for 2020, now's a great time to do that. And once again, I think the last slide is just a thank you to our the SBA and the Women's Business Center at Jedi, and you're welcome to reach out, join our mailing list, or go to email me, connect with us if we can support you. And I did have one more poll before we get to the questions. This is for our own research at the Women's Business Center. We're wanting to know how people learned about this webinar. And that helps us look at what's working and what we can do more of. So I appreciate you taking a moment for that. And then we will get to some of these questions. How's that sound, Wanda?
Awesome.
I'm going to have to scroll all the way up because there were a few that we didn't talk about.
Okay.
I love this comment that, you know, sometimes things happen when you go live. And one of the participants said, yeah, and messing up makes us look human, which is a good thing, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
None of us are perfect. It's like I have seen, you know, people that are 10 steps ahead of me in marketing really have some major screw ups. And sometimes it's just technology, and it just makes you more relatable.
So
you know, if it can happen to her and it happens to me, we're kind of like kindred souls, you know?
Yeah. It's real. It's the real thing. Yes, it's a real good thing, actually. I think it is lovely. So when you were showing people how to start a Facebook Live, I don't know if it was on the laptop or the desktop or if it was on the phone, but there was a wand. And someone asked, what is the wand for? And you can stop the screen share, by the way.
Okay. I'd have to go back and look. She was talking about on the phone, right?
I think so.
I can't remember.
Okay, that's all right.
I don't remember.
Well, let me ask another, are there privacy considerations to address when sharing a live stream with others? In other words, you're watching a live stream and you want to share it.
You're watching a live stream. Okay, so in other words, if I do a live stream and you want to share my live stream with other people?
Sure.
Okay, if you're in groups, that's kind of a no-no. Because usually if you're doing a live stream within groups, you know, what stays in the group is supposed to stay in the group. It's not really supposed to go off the group. But if you're watching somebody's live stream from their business page, sure. They would love for you to share their live streams.
And vice versa. You can encourage it at the end of your live stream. If this was fun, if you got some benefit, feel free to comment or share below.
But don't say comment or share.
Don't say it.
You can't. It's a really weird thing. There's been people that have been thrown into Facebook jail, and trust me, when you get thrown into Facebook jail, it's not usually for longer than a week. But still, it can take your business out of commission, which is kind of annoying. And that's why you always want to have another admin on your business pages. By the way, my friends. It's like my husband is an admin on my business page. If I ever get put into Facebook jail, I can still get into my Facebook page if I need to. So it's like if you have a partner in business or a life partner, make them your admin so that you can still get to your page if you need to.
That's good advice. So maybe something like pass it on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just there's a lot of words that we can use that just aren't those particular words, like follow, like, or share. So just get a little bit more creative in your wording.
Okay, that's good to know for posting and video. Thank you. A question, any comments on the interaction with Instagram, either live or later?
Say that again.
The interaction between Facebook and Instagram. and the ability to use both platforms, etc.?
Well, Instagram is a Facebook product, but if you're doing this is just something for right now. We can do like we're doing. You've got a portrait or landscape, right? So on Instagram, everything is portrait. On Facebook, things are more landscape. So you want to
Instagram,
yeah.
Facebook.
Facebook, right. So let's say if you did a Facebook Live and you want to share it over to your Instagram, it's more than likely going to be widescreen, okay, when it should be more of a square screen. So you either have to reproduce that in software and make it into a square, all right, or you need to just put something as a subtitle that says, turn your phone. And I've seen people do that, just a little thing that pops up that says, turn your phone, so that they can see it the way that you intended them to see it. I think that answers the question.
If there's more, there's 4 more questions coming in. So
Okay.
On the equipment, do you by chance have a resource on your Facebook page or somewhere where you list some of the equipment you recommend?
I actually have it within our Facebook group.
Okay.
That I mentioned before. There is a resource list. But if anybody wants to reach out to me, again, reach out to me through my Facebook page. I'll be glad to send you that PDF that I share in that group, even if you don't want to be a part of the group. I'd be glad to do that. Because I use it, to be honest with you, I use green screen on Zoom a lot. I didn't today, but I have a green screen that I can pull up and I can change my background, because I believe in trying to, you know, have something fresh. Even if you're in the same spot because you love your lighting or you have everything set up here, using a green screen is a great way to make it look like you're somewhere else. Yeah, like that. Zoom offers that.
You said something about teleporting and I just felt like going to San Francisco. So I'm just having fun. Yeah. There are so many great questions. You guys are amazing. So another one had to do with when people start, when they use their phone. Mm-hmm. Is the camera going to be automatically, when you hit Facebook Live, facing towards the person, or will it be looking out at the scenery?
It actually depends on how you have your phone set. So you can do it both ways. And you know, if you're going to be doing more Facebook Lives from your phone, because that just works out better for your business, you can play with that, you know, rotating the phone to go both ways, especially if you're sharing an experience. Like I mentioned, let's say that you're at an event. It could be a concert. It could be a baseball game. Although I will tell you, sometimes if there's some copywritten music in the background, sometimes Facebook won't let you go live. I've had that happen to me at a baseball game.
Amazing.
Yeah, so it's just keep those, you know, things in mind, is that if you are at an event, also if you're sharing someone's presentation that, let's say you paid $1,000 to see them up on stage, they're not going to be too happy with the fact that you're sharing their presentation on Facebook Live to everybody who hasn't paid anything. So we have to kind of use some logic behind when we're going live as to copywritten things and honor those relationships.
Great, which is one of our 2020 webinars is going to be all about copyright law and intellectual property. So it's
I'm not an attorney and I don't play one on TV.
But I'll tell you what you are. You're awesome at internet marketing. So we're just eating up the information here. Someone asked about reliable data versus Wi-Fi, and, you know, go Wi-Fi if it's going to be stronger. If you don't have reliable data, always go for what's working, and you can test it. You can test it.
Definitely.
Let's see what else people asked about the Blue Yeti. We got that. Someone wants you to do a Jedi webinar on Facebook ads.
Honestly, it's like Facebook ads are a lot easier to do than they used to be. But it's not exactly, I know how to do them and I do them for clients, but I would not consider myself a Facebook ad expert. And there are people who do that all day long. Okay.
Well, we just want you in your sweet spots in your realm of expertise. So in your genius zone, but you are invited back. That's for sure.
Thank you.
Okay. Can I share my live stream with my personal page without getting in trouble?
It depends on what you live stream. So let's say, for instance, if you're, I work with a lot of real estate people, and I do webinars and seminars for real estate people. You can go and do a live stream on your personal profile and do, you know, showcase a home, open house, that type of thing. That's cool. But you have to be more concerned about if you're using it for your business and you're trying to sell something. Just think if you were to say, I want to make you an offer, or I want to sell you something, or I want to tell you something that I'm trying to sell, keep it on your business page. If you're sharing an experience, you can do that on your personal profile. But the thing is that we are trying to build our businesses. So why are we trying to do that on our personal profile is my question to you.
Yeah, I think that's, you know, something you really brought home, and we can always invite people to go to the business page if they're interested in what we're doing. And that's okay to post a few times. Hey, check out what's going on over at the business page.
Yeah, and let's say that you have a skincare line that you're trying to sell, and you're doing this on your personal page, right? You might, again, you could say this is the experience, I'm doing a facial. But the thing is that if I'm connected to you on your personal profile and I'm not really digging what you're selling on your business page, that's going to alienate me as a follower of your personal profile. And I might block you for 30 days. I might, you know, unfriend you. It's like, that's not our goal. So again, try to keep business with business, and you can still promote. But again, we're trying to build that audience over. So people who care about what we're offering are going to come over.
You sound just like our financial webinar last month. Personal account, business account. Right. I love the differentiation. I'm going to end with this last question. The last question had to do with doing a Facebook Live and then repurposing or using it as a podcast, the audio version. Do you do that? Do you recommend it?
Sure. But just keep in mind, sometimes when we're doing things on, you have to listen to it and make sure that it still makes sense without the video. Because, you know, let's say if you shared a screenshot of something and people can't see that when you do an audio only. So just make sure it makes sense. It translates over. And keep in mind too, a cool thing about doing a Facebook Live, again, about repurposing your content, is that if you have somebody, or if you use a third-party transcriber app, you can take and download that live and make it into a blog post. Or you can do both. You can make it into a blog post and then attach the video on top of it, because some people learn differently, right? Some people like to watch video. Some people like to read. Some people like to do things, you know, it's just like, so however you can make things engaging and get people involved, that's the way to go.
This was a blast. I really enjoyed our time together, and so did everyone else. So thank you, Wanda.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you guys hanging in there. And, you know, I love answering the questions. Again, if you have any more that you think of, you know, like after the fact, oh, shoot, I meant to ask that question, just send it to me, Facebook Messenger me, or, you know, reach out to me through my website, however it works for you.
Great. And I want to encourage people either right now or via email, what topics are you looking for 2020 webinars? And I did see someone was interested in Instagram. Thank you on that. Facebook advertising. All right. Thanks again, Wanda. Thank you, everyone. Make it a great week.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.
All right. The replay is coming your way. And if you're watching the recording, down below, you'll get all the links we talked about. All right. Thanks, Wanda.
All right. Bye, everyone.